Welcome to Crazy Shit in Real Estate, a weekly podcast where I walk you through some of the wildest, most unbelievable stories you'll hear from the world of real estate. If you like real estate and you love crazy, this is the podcast for you. Before we get any further into this episode, I've got some information to share.
Oh, it's true. Real estate is super competitive and harder than you expected. That's why I created Leigh Brown University. It's everything you need to take you from point A to point whatever your goal is. You could be new to the business or a seasoned vet. I'll help you break through to the next level so that your professional life can look exactly like you desire. Enroll in Leigh Brown University today. I'll help you get there.
You can tell us a crazy story, but then I want to move into something we were talking about in the pre-show, because there's crazy things about real estate that most people don't understand at all. But start with real estate. What's the story you tell when you walk home at the end of the day and you get to see your beautiful wife, Michelle, and you're like, girlfriend, you have got to hear what happened today. And she's like, oh God, not again. But instead she's like, oh, do tell. And what's the good story?
So I'm going to go way back in time. And this comes, safety's been a big deal in real estate. And so when I first started, you did whatever you could do to sell a house. And that's what you did because you wanted to put food on the table. So had some folks that reached out on a foreclosure that was on a minimum maintenance road about 40 miles from Sioux Falls. And it was 25,
wait a minute. What's minimum maintenance by South Dakota standards?
Dirt road.
Okay.
Dirt road. Yeah, not that interstate, dirt road. And we do have interstates too. But realistically, though, is $25,000. They had a minimum commission. It was a foreclosure. Kind of did what you had to do to make it happen. And so basically, I met these people out there. And when I pulled up and I just saw them standing there, they were a couple, sort of. They were on their third time being married to each other.
To each other?
To each other. And so it's
kind of love that.
Right. It's like, do you guys really love each other? Or
we do. We think. We're sure of it. We're convinced.
Right, we're pretty sure. And so basically, this place was just a joke. There was, I don't know, I love Swiss cheese, and this reminded me of Swiss cheese. So the furthest I went was into the kitchen, and I let them meander through the house because there was no way that I was going to do this and see everything going on through this house because I really didn't care that much. And they just felt off. They felt like they were, I don't know, just a little off. You get that sketchy gut feeling. I know that happens for women all the time. Hairs up on the back of the neck. You got it. My one thing I learned from that is to follow that. That's your intuition. Just roll with it. And I may be a big dude and I may be strong and be able to take that. But at the same time, there's a whole lot of stupid out there we got to deal with on a daily basis. So basically, these people bought the house. They were pretty nuts. We're almost to that time of year again where on Valentine's Day night at about 2 a.m., I received a phone call from her. She left me a voicemail. My wife, Michelle, was like, what is going on? And I was like, well, it's this person. And she goes, oh my gosh. I let it go. Called back again right away. I let it go. Called back again. I answered the phone at 2 whatever time. She had left me as much message as she could through the 2 messages. Third one I answered. Oh, I didn't expect for you to answer. And I was like, well, you're calling my only phone. And
multiple times.
There must be an emergency at 2 a.m. The next day, she wanted to get my wife flowers. She wanted to do all these things. Well, make a long story shortly, the mortgage broker that became a realtor not too long after that, because we have the best industry in the world and we're the best people ever. So we took a best person out of mortgage and brought him into real estate. He reached out to me while he was still in mortgage and said, hey, check out this article. And both husband and wife drove to a road further than that one, I guess, and committed double suicide. And both ended up taking their own lives in the middle of this road. And so when you get those hairs on the back of your neck and something don't feel right, something ain't right.
So you still don't know why they were calling you in the middle of the night?
Yeah, she was calling because she was all worried about different things with the house. And it was all fine. Like just random questions. Like call me at 8 a.m. questions. Call me at noon. But it just came to her at 2 a.m. and she didn't know how to write a note, I guess. So that's what happened though. But yeah, when you have those moments and it hits that close to home and something crazy like that happens afterwards, That's when you implement. You have the your policy in place. I implemented a very similar policy back then, slightly different play on words, which I'm not going to use on your podcast because some people don't like that word.
They don't need to know everything.
But it doesn't matter. And so, my team has that exact same methodology today, and we focus on safety first because there's no reason to get hurt in a vacant house showing it to some stranger.
Oh, you're enjoying this little clip? Well, the rest of the story is available on any of your podcast apps. Just go search for and subscribe to Crazy Shit in Real Estate with Leigh Brown.